Hello, dear participants.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We are now participating in social digital entrepreneurship training. It's the launching day today, and we are very happy to have you here. Now, we will discuss, learn, and collaborate together with our project outcomes. And your participation in this training is very valuable from our side. So first of all, I want to thank you for your valuable participation today. So if you are okay, you can open your camera, and if you are not suitable, it's not fit to you, okay, it's not problem for us. So I'm very happy to have some friends also participating in our education training here. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Çağlar Doğru. I'm an associate professor of management and strategy in Turkey. I'm the head of management and organization department in our university. So when you have a look at the internet about my articles, my books, and my projects, you may face some important issues about my articles on social entrepreneurship and digitalization in this new era. And now we are connecting these two concepts. First of all, the social entrepreneurship, and then the digitalization. So we are today giving the intersection of social and digital entrepreneurship.
Kim var ya? Allah Allah.
Now, could you please turn off your volume when you are not speaking? I'm just pausing here to let you mute. So now we are here to share our presentations here. First of all, what is our aim here? And I will give you the outline of this training for today. As you know, this is a 3-day training. Now we are mostly, for today, I'm speaking for today, mostly giving you some theoretical background. And tomorrow and the third day, Friday, I mean, we are mostly speaking on some applications and also digital toolkits for social digital entrepreneurship. So I am, first of all, again, I want to state that I'm very open to your questions. This is okay, training, but I'm open to your questions. Your questions are very valuable. I mean it. And let me share my slides with you. So the outline of training today, I'm giving to you the objective of training. So we must be sure about why are we here? So we first have to know that the mission of the presence of our today's training schedule. So after that, I will give you the concept of social digital entrepreneurship and also want to share your and have your ideas about it. And we want to mention only who are these social digital entrepreneurs and also how to build an effective social digital initiative in our training and also furthermore. And we will be focusing on choosing a social digital business idea. And SWOT analysis is in the heart of this social digital business idea. And you may have a design for social digital business of this controversial but very important schedule. So inspirational social digital entrepreneurship stories will contribute us many more things for our progress. And also we will finish our today's training with sustainability, financial plan, and launching the initiative activities. So after giving you the objective of training, if you have any questions, I will clearly and happily want to answer them from the beginning. But if you don't have for now, I will collect your questions at the end of our classes. So here we want to enhance the competences of youth workers and also youth on digital-based social environmental entrepreneurship training activities. How can we achieve it? We can achieve it through increasing innovative and high-quality informal and non-formal training materials. So this is why we are here at this meeting. And also, we want to build capacity of organizations on innovative social entrepreneurship training, not only national basis, but also in a transnational and international agenda. And also here we aim to educate youth workers on the principles and practices of social digital entrepreneurship and the digitalization of social entrepreneurship. After we understand these concepts, not only social, not only digital, but social digital entrepreneurship, you, me, and all the youth workers will be able to help young people for what? To identify and pursue innovative business ideas. Okay, this is the important point here, the innovative business ideas for social digital entrepreneurship. Before I give you the concept of social entrepreneurship, is there anyone who has idea about social entrepreneurship? Do you want to contribute something? Okay, if you want to speak later, I will give you the chance, no problem. So first of all, we are here to give you the concept of social entrepreneurship. We know social and we know entrepreneurship words, but what is the position when it combines? Social entrepreneurship is the process of using entrepreneurial principles. Would you please mute yourself?
Şey mi oldu ya? Sonun sayıp Aşık Veysel'in için bir şey etkinlik yazdırmışlardı ya bize.
I will handle it now.
Çok şey getir. Evet.
Tamam.
2050 milyonu diye geldi.
Önce değil mi?
Okay. Okay. Social entrepreneurship is the process of using entrepreneurial principles to develop, fund, and implement solutions to social, cultural, and environmental issues. So both today, tomorrow, and on Friday, we will be generating solutions for social, cultural, or environmental issues by providing an entrepreneurship in our training. I will demand you after our course today to generate an idea. This is for today's work. I will give the details at the end of the class. No worries for now. But we don't use our time just on focusing theoretical basis. But if we don't have this theoretical basis, we can't understand the whole idea. And again, social entrepreneurs aim to create innovative and sustainable solutions that address these problems and create positive social change. So social entrepreneurs are not aiming, first of all, the profit mechanism as other companies or enterprises aims. So social entrepreneurs often work in the non-profit or social enterprise sector. This is the difference. Let me take your attention here at this point. Social entrepreneurs often work in non-profit or social enterprise sector. Okay, so this is not something like corporate social responsibility. Okay, of course, we are aware that so many big companies are creating some corporate social responsibilities by building schools, no problem, okay? But for us, they are some profit-seeking enterprises. We are now focusing social entrepreneurs working in the nonprofit or social enterprise sector. This is very valuable for us because, okay, at the end of the day, there is a profit. There may be a profit because if there is no profit, the social entrepreneurs have to fund themselves with another resource, in financial resource. But I mean, they don't aim to lose. But the difference here is they are not primarily aiming the profit for their projects. So maybe you can ask, what do they focus on? They focus on creating social value rather than just maximizing profits, and use business models to generate revenue that can be reinvested in their social mission. In these 3 days, we will develop a business plan. As a trainee, you will be obliged to give us, but not maybe you may be volunteered, and maybe I cannot say that you are obliged to, but we are voluntarily develop a business plan in these 3 days. Okay. So what is the example of social entrepreneurship? Maybe microfinance organizations that provide small loans to low-income individuals, maybe fair trade businesses that support sustainable livelihoods for marginalized communities, or nowadays very popular and very useful for our sustainability, especially in environmental issues, some renewable energy companies that addresses climate change. These are just very small examples. We will give some other examples in detail in upcoming minutes and also days. So I think we are now generating some ideas about social entrepreneurship. We understood that they are just not maximizing profits. They are not aiming just maximizing profits, They are trying to identify social problems and bringing social change. But how? How they concentrate on social problems and bring about social change? Here, they use the entrepreneurial concepts, processes, and operations. So I will be asking from you to understand, to try to understand some entrepreneurial concepts, which I will tell you in the upcoming slides. So, first of all, there will be, or there should be, a specific social problem. Okay. When I'm talking here, you may just listen and try to imagine a social problem in your mind, so as to try to come up with a solution. Why? Because I will be demanding also by giving you some here the concepts, the theoretical background of entrepreneurship. I will be demanding you to come up with a business plan, come up with an idea, and come up with some solution which is giving some Swot analysis. I will all tell them. Okay. So what is a social problem? A social problem may or may not be completely eliminated as part of the reform, but it might be lifelong effort centered on improving the current situation. Let's talk about what shall a social problem be, or what do we imagine? Is there any social problem around you, or everything is okay for you? Is there anyone who wants to speak about imagining a social or not imagining, just giving, hey, there is a social problem in our community and I want to solve it? Is there anyone here? For example, traffic, for example, air pollution, for example, gender equity, for example, glass ceilings for women. I mean, okay. So up to now, I tried to give you the difference between social and business entrepreneurship. And as you see in the left side, social entrepreneurship focuses on building social capital rather than profit or return in financial terms. And as you have already know, business entrepreneurship is taking the initiative to start a new firm or diversify an existing one. For example, environmental issues. These are very popular social entrepreneurship ideas. Women empowerment, child rights, social needs, waste treatment facilities. All these are examples of, and also very successful examples, which there are plenty of projects up to now. Okay, let me introduce you the second part of our conceptual framework, that it is the social digital entrepreneurship. So social digital entrepreneurship is a special type, is a special form of entrepreneurship that combines digital technologies with social impact. We are focusing now, first of all, the digital phase, and then the entrepreneurship side. The frame of this digital and entrepreneurship building is the social digital entrepreneurship. So why are we focusing on not only social entrepreneurship or not only digital entrepreneurship, but social digital entrepreneurship? This is because social digital entrepreneurs use digital technologies such as social media, mobile apps, and e-commerce, electronic commerce platforms. All of them are very popular. all of them are very useful for us, for especially youth workers, to create innovative and sustainable solutions to social problems. We are especially focusing on social digital entrepreneurship in this training program. Why is that? Because we will use some digital skills. We will use some digital toolkits to give the entrepreneurship ideas life. And also, social digital entrepreneurship leverages the power of digital technologies to expand their reach, engage with stakeholders, and create new business models. I will give also the specific names of some of the toolkits in our upcoming slides and also training. For example, examples of social digital entrepreneurship consist of mobile apps that provide access to education, healthcare, or financial services to low-income communities. Maybe in Africa, they are all in need of these types of things. So crowdfunding is another example here. Crowdfunding platforms that enable social entrepreneurs to raise funds from a large number of donors and investors. I don't know if you are familiar with management issues or not, but crowdfunding is a very important key for financial management, especially. And also e-commerce platforms, which we are using when we look at the numbers around the world after COVID-19. You know that the e-commerce platforms gain importance. Why is that? Because they promote fair trade, sustainable products, or support marginalized communities. There is a chance here. So another thing here, another example is social media platforms that help raise awareness, mobilize communities, and advocate for social change. These are all examples. And you see in the left column that there are some social problems and there are some sustainability creation and there are some solutions, of course. So we are eager to use technology in order to give a chance to solve a social problem by an innovative approach. We will use some applications, especially giving life to these solutions. We use digital platforms. We may also keep in mind the sustainability issues. We will have to also raise some sustainable funds for our financial plans. These are all important branches of the issue here. Of course, there are differences between social digital entrepreneurship and other types of entrepreneurships. Here, as I'm talking about social digital entrepreneurship like we aim to build a business, provide online services or sell products online without the need for physical space and investment. Why is that? Because when we don't need a physical space, we don't need to pay for stocks. We don't need to pay for especially buildings. We don't need to pay for other physical or maybe tangible assets. So here, by using digital entrepreneurship toolkits, we don't need some physical assets, okay, as I said. And another thing here, now we are also using an online education system here. I'm sitting in our home country, and all of these participants are across the world. So we are now just talking about these subjects, okay? So this is the important point of digitalization. So the biggest advantage of this entrepreneurship model is that it requires much less capital than physical investment. The financial management is easier than ever. And in the right side, you can see that providing an online training, setting up an e-commerce site, or creating blogs are examples of these types of entrepreneurship. It sounds like very easy, but it's very impactful. It's very impactful for the upcoming entrepreneurship ideas. And also those who choose social digital entrepreneurship have more flexibility. Flexibility is all we need here in our lives, because there's a need for work and life balance. When we don't sustain the work and life balance, and we lose flexibility in our lives, so this will make us everything ill, mental, it destroys our mental health, etc. So this flexibility will be very profitable for us. And another point is here, you don't need any prior knowledge to get started for an idea, for generating an idea. We are all living in a community. We are all living in groups, or we live in a modern community. So you don't need any prior knowledge to bring about a solution to your problems. But only thing you need is to have a leadership, to have a guidance for just giving you the map of your strategical roadmap. And also, you don't need to know how to code and program. Of course, if you know, it may be an asset for you, but you don't need it at this point. So this allows you to build a business model with unlimited options to work in areas where you find yourself strong. We will all give some evidences about these topics here. So I didn't ask you all about your existing profession skills or other things, but I know that if ever you don't have, but your profession here may be a starting point. But for example, if you are a driver, you may come up with a solution to your traffic in the city, but you don't need to be a driver to come up with a solution to the existing traffic problems in your city or in your country. For example, I don't need to be a climate expert to understand that there is a climate change in our world. So I mean that you don't need to a profession. I mean this example like that. And also, many of you may be students here. It's not an obstacle for you to be a student. You can both be a social digital entrepreneurship from your home, and at the same time, you can educate yourself, and also you can go to your class. Just all you need is a little bit extra time, and also some contribution, of course, some dedication to this topic. let me again give some key points about social digital entrepreneurs after giving you social digital entrepreneurship concept. Social digital entrepreneurs are individuals or groups. It's not only an individual, but also be a group who leverage digital technologies to create innovative solutions to social problems. First of all, in the beginning of the class here, I mentioned innovative solutions, and also I mentioned social problems. Let's think simple. We are here to generate innovative solutions to social problems by using technology, by using digital toolkits. This is our mission, okay? If, again, I want to tell one more time here, if anything you want to ask me about these concepts and other things, you may raise your hand now or after the class. Also, social digital entrepreneurs come from diverse backgrounds, may include individual startups, nonprofits, social enterprises. These are the points. And also social digital entrepreneurs have the ability to reach a wider audience, engage with stakeholders, and create new forms of collaboration and partnership. Maybe I can, at this point, give you the examples of social digital entrepreneurs. Maybe you have heard, maybe you have read about your booklets. For example, Leyla Janah, a founder of the company, a nonprofit enterprise or initiative, I can name it, Samasource, a nonprofit that uses technology to connect low-income people in developing countries with work opportunities in the digital economy. Maybe Blake Mysowski, founder of TOMS Shoes, a social enterprise that uses a one-for-one model to provide shoes and other products to people in need. As you here understand that it's not complex issues. They are not complex issues, but maybe you can just create a solution by thinking simply. And another example here, Devon Thorpe, founder of Your Mark on the World Center, a social enterprise that provides education and resources for social entrepreneurs and impact investors. Also, Dr. Alam Rabit, founder of the Voice of Libyan Women, a nonprofit that uses social media and other digital tools to promote women's rights in Libya. Today, in underdeveloped countries, women are facing some challenges, as you know. So many social entrepreneurs are trying to come up with solutions to women empowerment and also break the glass ceilings in work settings, etc. So you may also create a solution to women empowerment. This is an idea here. Overall, social digital entrepreneurs are innovative, purpose-driven individuals who use digital technologies to create positive social impact and drive social change. So, how to build effective social digital initiatives as a social digital entrepreneurs? First of all, you need to focus on the benefits of the model of entrepreneurship. And all you need is a computer with an internet access. Or today, if you don't even have a computer, if you have a smartphone with an internet access, you have the appropriate asset to start with your idea. And in the second step, you should first adapt to flexible hours. This is very suitable for students. This is very suitable for white collars or blue collar workers from 9 to 5. What does it mean? It means that you can even use your evening time for building effective social digital initiatives by using your smartphones or your laptops. So at this point, you have to know that you are not if you are not efficient and productive at all hours of the day, you should be ready for disruption of your schedule and loss of time due to unexpected events. There is always this kind of corruptions, but by being flexible and managing your own time, you will achieve, I believe. So you should manage your economic resources with a proper plan. If you want to be a social digital entrepreneur, you won't have to rent a place. As I told you before, you don't need a physical place. You don't need some stocks. You don't need a grocery or something at the start point. You don't need a magazine or something, but all you have to need is an digital platform. But you need a growth plan. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a business model, if you don't have a solution plan, mapping strategy for your initiative, I can here honestly state that you may not be successful. For coming up with this obstacle, you need to figure out how to expand your services, your sales volume without increasing the fixed costs of your business. For this, you will be very efficient to generate a plan. I will tell you the Swot analysis today, and we will give a frame for your idea. So there are some steps here: identifying, defining, planning, building, leveraging, engaging, monitoring and evaluating, also collaborating and securing the social digital initiative. I want you to keep in mind these steps. Okay. So first of all, what is the problem that you want to solve? What is the problem? After indicating the problem, you should define your goals. How can we achieve? And after achieving this success, what parties will be beneficial to all of the contributions? So to reach your aim, to meet your objectives, you have to plan your strategy. After indicating the proper steps to reach your aim, you have to build a team. Building team here also very important. Being in a team is very important. After that, you have to leverage technology and engage your audience. When you reach your audience with your solutions, you have to monitor and evaluate if you are right or wrong, if you are efficient or not. This step in monitoring and evaluating, you will also collaborating with partners to amplify your impact. What kind of partners? Maybe non-profit organizations, maybe academicians, maybe students, maybe just volunteers. But all you have to do is to collaborate with other people to come up with solution to a social problem. After all of these, also in today's context, financial context, you have to get a secure funding from donors, grants, or maybe your governments. I am sure that, for example, European Union, for example, every government in Europe or in other parts of the world, governments are also very eager to give some grants and also, I mean money and loans to social entrepreneurs. Yes, friends, we are now at a coffee break here. If you want to ask me question, you may also ask now or after the coffee break. This is vital for us to refresh. Maybe you can note your questions. It may or not be about the concept or further training topics. I am very happy. I will be very happy to answer your questions after the break. Okay. So we have a 20-minute coffee break, and after 20 minutes, we will be back here. Thank you for listening.
Birkaç tane ben vereyim diyeceğim de 15 tane bende de yok galiba bu arada.
Dear friends, hello again. Everyone's here.
Hello.
Hello, hi. Yes. By the way, in the coffee break, I read your messages in the chat section here. It's very fruitful. So in this lesson, we will be here generating idea and also giving some SWOT analysis and drawing the framework for SWOT analysis here. If you feel comfortable, I will be very happy to hear and see you. Your camera is open. But if you feel uncomfortable, it's your also opinion. We all respect your ideas and your other things. So if you feel comfortable, you can also use the chat box here. And now we are choosing a social digital business idea. Okay. So let me arrange my presentation here. And I put the chat box on the right side. I can also see your messages here. In this lesson, we are learning to choose a social digital business idea, and also as a trainee, you should generate a social idea. Okay, so I always keep some distance with monologue lessons, and also I am a very fan of lessons which it's based on the dialogue infrastructure. So I want you to be some sort of comfortable. Okay, we are just now here to just generate some ideas. And also for Friday, on Friday you will be in a group of 5 trainee. So your connections, your social connections here are also very important for us. So I encourage you to use your chat box, also your some other things to connect with your friends in this program. Okay, so how can we choose an idea, a social digital business idea? First of all, you have to identify and list your skills. What is your private skill? By the way, no problem if you don't have any, okay? But just think about, just imagine what you acquire as a skill. So choose an area that you enjoy doing and have knowledge in. And it will be both fun and easy to list the areas you have mastered so far. For me, you know, I'm an academician, so if it was to me, I would choose some online training or some sort of easy access to education as a social digital business. Okay, so what I'm telling here is that choose an area that you enjoy doing and have knowledge in. Okay, and also it should be compatible with your existing skills. If not, if there is no skill, just think about your hobbies here, because in this lesson we will, each of you will generate a business idea. Okay, so if you don't have any skill coming up to your mind, you can review your hobbies. Which activities have you been involved in so far? Which volunteering activities have you participated in? So think about this, okay? And after that, just intersecting the areas of your hobbies, your skills, your human capital, research the consumer demand and market supply. Because once you have chosen the field that excites you, it's very important to find out what there is demand for it. Maybe in marketing, if you have seen some marketing classes in university, you have heard about that. Some pull marketing strategies and push marketing strategies. If there is no demand, just don't worry, okay? If there is no demand, if there is no interest in your area, there is still a chance. You may use push marketing strategies. So here you can generate a question like, how can we use push marketing strategies? By not chasing the demand of the customers. By only, here you may underline it, by creating demand. Okay. You should be assertive and you should believe in yourself just to use push marketing strategies, like, for example, creating demands. Okay, if there is no demand, just create, no problem. And also, you should follow the trends in your field of entrepreneurship. Maybe if you are interested in fashion, if you are interested in social media, if you are interested in some, these are the happy side of the social problems. Of course, as I see in the chat box, there are also more serious social problems. You may also choose one of them. Okay, no problem. In addition to our concepts, seasons, natural events, cultures are also important factors that change trends. For example, some of your friends, also I live in Turkey, and our friends from Turkey, we all faced a terrible earthquake in February, and so they have some ideas about it, and we all encourage them. Now I have muted your friends. And also these tough days we have faced since the February may also generate some valuable social ideas from our friends in this training. Okay, maybe this training will lead to a social solution, social problem solution. I'm very hopeful about it. So just believe in yourself. So in other step, you will find out who the authorities and experts are in your entrepreneurial field. For example, if you need some social impact and social idea for earthquakes, who are the authorities for earthquakes in Turkey? So how can you reach the experts in this area? Okay, for example, I'm not an expert for earthquakes. Even if I am leading a project on social awareness about earthquakes, I need some expert idea. Okay, so I will reach out to the experts in this specific area. And also, you will be in touch with consumers and especially the target audience in your social business idea. And in another suggestion in the left, you see that please do not try to implement everything that comes to your mind and all the points of the roadmap at the same time. It's very important. This is because to eliminate the obstacle of confusion. If you try to implement all the things in one step, then the chance of your failure will increase. Okay, so what's the solution to overcome this problem? You should just write down your steps, and by completing one step, you should pass over the other one. Okay, and also 1 point is okay, 2 points okay, but do not try to put all of the things in one shoe. Okay, just do them with a consequential sequence. So our friends, let's first of all here we should generate a social initiative idea, social digital idea. And after generating this idea, I will tell you how should be a SWOT analysis about this idea, and how should we try to make it real. Okay, I want all of you to just think on a social idea, to come up with a social digital idea. Are you okay with this? And here I want to check your chat box here. And here I see that some of your friends are very eager to write their thoughts from this part. So friends, now, yes, Christina, you asked me, are we gonna share our ideas now? Yes, now we are trying to convert our conversation into a dialectic structure at this point. Now you can just think about, and if you want, you may share your ideas right now, because I will now give you the essential points of a SWOT analysis. And by giving a SWOT analysis, the essential points of SWOT analysis, I will mention your ideas to structure it about a SWOT analysis, which we may need for tomorrow. Okay, so friends, what do you think about a social problem? Do you have any social business idea here at this point? I'm listening to you now. If you feel comfortable.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi,
I
Liba.
can share one idea that I had with my. I'm very sorry for the sound. I hope it's not disturbing.
No problem.
So my idea, a long time ago, with some friends from my organization in Latvia, we decided to do an American platform where young people who are 12 years old till 17 years old could watch for free different different courses, online courses, and we implemented also tasks which they can do after watching these online videos, and also we had also exercises implemented there. So but the thing was that it didn't really go well because schools were not sharing this platform with the youngsters, and we had some even trainings with them, online trainings. And those youngsters with who we were working were actively participating much of these videos. But when we asked teachers from the school to share them, this information didn't really. Didn't really share this information, so our business idea didn't really work out. So that's my story.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So it's very nice to hear you and also your story. We are all here to exchange our ideas and exchange our past experiences, of course. So we are very glad to hear you. Thank you.
Okay, may I talk?
Of course.
Okay,
Yes,
this is not my idea, but it's something that I have seen here in my city. I live in the south of Spain. I also have seen this initiative in other cities and even in other countries, and it's about hiring people with social disadvantages, maybe people with disabilities, that they are being hiring for working like waiters and something like this. So I think that it's a really good opportunity for them. It's something that from my council hall are implementing and start every year here. So I think that this is a great opportunity for them. But also I was thinking about this situation, and now here in Spain we talk a lot. I don't know in Turkey and other countries, but maybe here, about the transgender. Is a big issue here, and also they have they find a lot of problems with when they want to find a job. So this is maybe other people that we need to keep in mind, like with this disabled people. So also with them. That's it.
Yeah. Ms. Christina, thank you for your suggestions and thank you for your ideas. It's very valuable for us. Thank you. Dear friends, we are very happy to have your suggestions, have your ideas. Is there anyone who wants to speak more? Also, if you feel comfortable by not speaking here live, you may also write in the chat box, okay? I can see in the chat box. All you have to do is sharing your social business idea here, because we are trying to generate it on the basis of the concepts which I tried to give you up to now.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ms. Ezgi.
I might share my idea about aging. I actually want to connect with young people about aging process, because we have a lot of prejudice for the aged people and the aging process itself. There is a discrimination type called ageism. That's my idea is that I want to give some information to young people about this type of discrimination, ageism, and also I want to make young people feel better about aging, and I want them to have some more positive feelings about the aging process. That's my idea.
Thank you. Thank you. As the previous participants and also you have mentioned very important points. This is what I'm trying to also underline the topics and underline the ideas to generate as a social idea. Okay. We will also discuss how to digitalize these types of business, these types of social business ideas. So up to now, I'm very happy to hear these kinds of ideas. Thank you. Yes, dear friends, we are accepting some participation here. In which way you feel comfortable to share your ideas, either with camera, either with voice, either with chat box. Please feel free to share your ideas.
Hello, can I say something?
Yes, please. Yes, please. We are listening.
Hello, I'm Reda and I'm studying psychology. And I'm really interested about the anxiety disorders popularity on teenagers. And I think I want to do some works on anxiety, and I want to have society awareness and consciousness about the differences, different types of anxiety, or differences about depression or in anxiety. And maybe I wanted to do some entrepreneur works about psychological disease or problems.
Oh, very nice, very nice. These mental disorders are very damaging results for the society. So you are pointing out a very important issue here. So thank you, Ruwaida.
Thank you.
By the way, I'm here reading your friends' chat box messages here on the right side. It's also very active here. You are very active here, which I'm very happy about it. So your active participation is very valuable for this training program. It also gives me the satisfaction and also gives me the motivation to share our ideas and go further on this training. So our friends also discuss on giving some prospective ideas about earthquakes in all around the world, but also concentrated in Turkey. So very fruitful ideas appear on the chat box here. So I can here state that the earthquake group will form a group on generating social ideas on earthquakes. You may be a volunteer for forming a group for Friday's workshop. Okay, I will give some details later. So up to now, thanks to the friends that we all...
Peter, can you hear me?
Of course, of course, of course. Hi, Christian.
Hi, hello. Yes, I want to share a little bit about what I've been talking on the chat. Yes, that's well, I told you about my idea. The paradigm, the actual paradigm of renewable energies is that actually we tend to shift the flexibility in the electric system. Right now, when you need energy, you just burn coal or burn gas, and you generate energy. The problem is that when you change that to renewable energies, you can't do that anymore. So you have to expect, like, wait for the sun or for the wind or for other sources to generate electricity. And you have two options. One is store it in batteries or natural ways to store it, or actually teach people to spend the energy when there is an overflow of it. That actually here in Spain and in Chile and mostly in the world, it's actually people doesn't know very well, but when the sun shines most, it's at midday. So people actually they tend to wash the clothes and do stuff when they reach home that it's already night. So there is a lot of space to work with people and teach them how to use efficiently the energy, not in a way to spend less, but in when to spend it, when actually the renewable energies are are generating the most. So there is a lot of space there to do some teaching and telling people how to change their habits and what they can do to spend it in a more intelligent way. So that's my social entrepreneurship.
Christian, thank you for your ideas and thank you for your suggestions. Again, I'm very happy to have your ideas. Thank you for your contribution to our training. Thank you. Yes, Dilara, Miss Dilara.
Thank you, Hocam. Hello, everybody. Hello, Çağlar Hocam.
Hello.
I was thinking of a project for the children who were affected by the earthquake in February. For the people abroad, well, they may not have enough information about the situation. The children who live in the cities that were affected by the earthquake have almost no access to educational materials, because they don't have their schools. So maybe we can, and the ones that have access, they have actually limited access. So maybe we can come up with something or the ways to support their educational needs, or some tools or materials, online materials that can help them overcome this problem, for the sake of equality of educational opportunity. I was thinking of something like this.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Dilara, Miss Dilara, excuse me. So we are also very happy to hear your idea. It's very in the heart of this social ideas, which concentrating on especially learning tools and also children. You are very your ideas are very detecting the heart of the problem. Thank you. Yes, my friends, it's a very fruitful idea sharing here. Also, it's beyond the brainstorming session. It's just share. It's not just sharing ideas, but also giving further assistance to the other participants in this training. So I wholeheartedly thank you for your contributions. Thank you. Now we can go further with some tangible SWOT analysis for our ideas. Okay, now it's time to put our ideas into a more practical way here. So here we can, let me share my notes. Now, can you see? I think yes. Thank you. So, SWOT analysis. I think many of you have heard about a SWOT analysis. What's a SWOT analysis? But in order to reach out all of the participants in our group, let me explain some of the fundamental points of a SWOT analysis here. Because we use SWOT analysis for an effective social digital initiative. At the end of the day, we are trying to launch a social digital initiative, social digital project, or maybe we can call it as a social digital enterprise. Okay, so the business idea here we are generating is of course a social one, but it still needs a SWOT analysis so as to promote our success in this project. Okay, so what is a SWOT analysis here? As you have already heard about it, the SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool used to identify and analyze. As you see, there are 4 letters here, S, W, O, and T. So these are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of a business or organization here. With the word strengths, we mention about the internal factors that give an organization. Here in our training, our idea and our project, an advantage over its competitors. These can include unique expertise, resources, reputation, or customer loyalty. In our social business idea, we don't need any competitors here, but we still have to be aware about our strengths. Okay, it's very vital for sustainable operations in our business idea. The second word, weaknesses, are pointing out the disadvantages relative to its competitors. At this point, you may think your competitor as yourself. Okay, so just think about the disadvantages that your organization or your business idea may have. So what can they be? They can include lack of expertise, resources, or poor reputation. But what about the opportunities here? The external factors that can be exploited to an organization's advantage. These can include new market trends, changes in regulations, or emerging technologies. So, of course, as there are opportunities in the context of our social business idea, it's very normal to have some threats. So what are the threats? They are the factors that can negatively impact an organization. For example, economic downturns. Why is that economic downturn? Why economic downturn? For example, you need to raise some funds from investors or something. In economic downturns, it's a little bit more, how can I say, difficult to raise funds also for a social idea. For example, changing consumer preferences or technological advances. But here we may use technological advance for our digital initiative, not as a threat, but also opportunity for opportunity. Okay, this is our aim, to use the advances in technology so as to acquire some opportunities in the market. As I told you, there may be some questions also. There should be some questions. This part of our lesson here, at this part of our, maybe I should not call it as lesson, but a training program here. What is my strength? First of all, what is my group's strength? And then, what are the strengths of our social business idea? Okay, so for example, you are free to form a group of 5 participants to come up with a business plan, including a SWOT analysis, or if I will rather prefer the group of 5, but if you don't want to share your idea, you may also come by yourself. At this point, you may ask, what unique expertise or skills does our organization have? What are our most valuable assets to implement my social idea? Or what competitive advantages do we have our competitors, or what competitive advantages do we have ourselves? Okay. So weaknesses. You should ask yourself, what are our biggest internal challenges? What areas could we improve on? Because even here I'm talking about these things, still I have some ways to improve myself, okay? Even I should face some progress. At this point, you please, okay, the word weakness is something like, not we want to hear this kind of word, but it's something like strengthening point, strengthening opportunity for us. If we can detect our weaknesses, after that, we have the opportunity to strengthen our points, okay? So what are the gaps in our expertise or resources? Also, we should concentrate on it. So opportunities, you may, in your business plan or in your SWOT analysis, okay, you may concentrate on opportunities. What new market trends or consumer needs are emerging? What changes in technology could we leverage, or what partnerships or collaborations could benefit our organization? It's very important, partnership, collaborations. For example, you have stated some ideas about mental disorders, children education, earthquakes. Okay, so here partnerships and collaborations will reinforce your idea. Okay. Also, what new regulations could create opportunities for our organizations? These new regulations may, in one way, may restrict your approach, but in many ways, new regulations can create some opportunities for your organization. It's unquestionable. And also, of course, as we live in life and we're in daily life, we see some threats. It's very normal to face threats in developing our both ideas and also running our enterprise here. Excuse me here. Who are our biggest competitors and what advantages do they have? What external factors could negatively impact our organization? You should ask yourself, okay? In order to state the threats, in order to build a guard shelf to these threats. Also, in another way, in order to strengthen your position, you should be aware of the threats in the market, okay? So what changes in consumer preferences could threaten our business, and what new regulations, as I told you before in the last slide, new regulations may also affect you negatively or positively, but we should concentrate on positive things. But we should be also aware of the negative impacts for new regulations and also be ready to face them. Okay. These are the simple questionnaire items here for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. For example, let me choose one of them for strengths. How do you provide a lower cost to consumers, or weaknesses? what are your weaknesses compared to your competitors? We all mentioned about that. But how is the opportunity here? What are opportunities? For example, can you take advantage of trends? Threats, for example, what obstacles do you face? What obstacles may arise? Just these are questions to ourselves, to our business idea. Okay. By not stating any question, we may not go further anymore. Okay. So we should ask questions to ourselves. Just we are grouping them into 4 groups: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. These simple questions will generate a business, a successful, I can underline it, a successful social business and social digital business idea here. It has the capacity. For example, maybe in one way it can coincide with your friend's suggestions about mental health awareness and support. Here there's a example SWOT analysis here. Strengths, for example, we can mention about a strength here: strong partnerships with local mental health organizations and experts. If we have strong partnership with local mental health organizations, then we can count it as an strength, of course. And well-established social media presence with engaged followers, or a team of dedicated volunteers with diverse skills and expertise, which I have seen here in the chat box, that you have the a strength about building building a team of dedicated volunteers, because you are volunteered to be here. Okay. Otherwise, maybe you may have some opportunity cost to be here. I understand that you are a volunteer team here, and also you have the ability to leverage technology to reach a wide audience. It's both applicable for promoting mental health awareness. Also, these strengths are all applicable for your business ideas. Okay, so of course, weaknesses. This is very common weakness. The first one here: limited financial resources or funding. Even if I here by myself try to generate a social idea, I will face first and most the limited financial resources at this point. And the second step here, or the second item here in the weaknesses, we may face reliance on volunteer efforts to maintain operations. Maybe, as an example, you may see limited staff capacity to manage outreach and communications. So why are these weaknesses are important? We should come over this, okay? Not just trying not to see them. On the contrary, we should all point out these weaknesses and try to overcome these weaknesses. Okay. About opportunities here: growing public interest in mental health. In today's context, even if you see some experts, you see some other leaders to have the effect on promoting the mental health, because mental health awareness, because everybody in the community faces these issues. Also, collaborations with other communities, another opportunity, and development of new digital tools and platforms, which we will see your friend's business plan here, maybe tomorrow, especially on Friday. What about threats? Increasing competition from other mental health organizations, of course, lack of public awareness, negative attitudes, or potential for changes in government policies. The potential for changes in government policies are all applicable for other types of business ideas anytime, okay? Because in many underdeveloped countries, maybe developing countries, the governments often change policies, not as likely as developed countries. Okay. So here you need to establish strong communication with relevant organizations. Our suggestions here: you can organize thematic events and participate in festivals, for example, which festivals are more suitable for your idea. You need to create a financial plan, which is vital for our growth plan, establishment plan, also for our SWOT analysis here. Financial plan is very important here for generating our business model, okay? And also you need to focus on doing the right thing in the market. It's another point here. Doing the right thing, trying to do, maybe I mean trying to. Okay. So here you need to choose a short and easy to write name for your startup or business. This is also an important point. We will give a coffee break in 3 minutes, by the way. You need to create a website for the product you will sell, or not essentially product. Maybe you will provide some service to the public or the community, or the service you will provide with your domain name that describes your business well and covers your services. At this point, before launching your products or services, you should work to measure their suitability. Okay. Dear friends, we will continue our notes after a short break, like 15 minutes. Okay. After 15 minutes, we will be back here with our last class for today's training. Thank you for listening up to now. We will back in 15 minutes. Thank you.
Geliyorum.
Hello again, friends. So we are in the last hour of our training here, and we were talking on the SWOT analysis and also the steps for business design and prototyping for a social business and social digital business idea. So let me share my screen with you. Thank you. Yes. As you remember, we were discussing the steps for business design and prototyping, and we have mentioned about the 7 steps, and we are right now at the 8th step here. And after questioning and developing our venture with questions, we may create a prototype and start testing it in real life. In the next minutes, we will give some real-life successors and real-life successful social digital entrepreneurs with a dialectical framework in the next minutes. So, in another step here, we need to introduce our startup and our products to consumers and attract them. And after all this, we should prepare content and promotional materials that will attract consumers. So since we are a social digital startup, we should be on social media. We should use social media effectively. Why is that? Because trying to reach everyone with internet access will not lead us to success. We should focus on our venture, and we should focus on the target audience. Okay, so we will think about the idea, and after that, we should state the potential target audience, and we will try to establish links with the target audience. Why is that? Why are we just concentrating on target audience? It depends on the, by the way, it depends on the circumstances, but if it's not a general idea, for example, the last hour you mentioned about earthquakes. Of course, it's a general audience, so you cannot try to concentrate on target audience. But for example, even in earthquake idea, even in creating a social impactful idea for earthquakes, again, we know that, for example, some areas are generating earthquakes and some are not. So we may focus on the most probable areas in the world. Okay, so this may also will generate a target audience. In another step, one of the most effective ways to bring our social digital initiative is giving some advertising and also using advertising channels effectively. Let's think here that our advertising should be on digital platforms or not. Here I can vote to the digital platforms, of course. Why is that? Because we are now just stating digital business design. And also, we need to good content marketing. Marketing should be effective and efficient in a way that we should use good content. Why is that? Because we are trying to reach out to our audience, and first of all, we don't aim any profit. Okay, so of course we need some profit, but we don't aim generating profits. These two are different from each other. So we should communicate our intention to the audience. We should communicate our valuable intention to the community in an efficient way. Okay. So we should be more sympathetic, or so also we should give some detailed content to what we are doing about. And these are all important points. So one of the most useful tools here is called an internet analysis. For example, mostly we may use Google Analytics and similar analysis tools for this. And why is that? Again, I am asking you because Google Analytics provide us some fruitful data about which platform or channel our target audiences use. And promotion and advertising may be here very vital for us to put our decisions and put our intentions on that digital platform. Okay. In another point, in second step here, we should apply for internet analysis of our startup as SEO services. Maybe you have heard about it, but these are done for search engines about a website because it allows us to reach the highest number of visitors in search traffic. Why do we use these types of services? Because in the community, even if our idea is very valuable, okay, there's no question about it, but we should communicate our idea with the community. If we keep our idea to ourselves, and if we don't use marketing, our public relations, our communication channels effectively, mostly the digital tools, I mean, okay, then we can't go further by applying our idea, okay? That is why this is so important. And usability and user experience will gain us some other types of framework about digital toolkits. As you see, UI and UX, user interface and user experience design. These are a niche marketing strategies in digitalization. So user experience will be more tangible after the experiences. Okay, so but we should keep in mind how can we increase usability here? We should focus on functionality. Also, we should pay attention to the readability of content. We should avoid confusing site layouts and links. In the upcoming slides, and also I will give live website connections here. I will share my screen with you again. So on that sites, we will discuss, is there any confusing point or not on the websites. In the fourth step, you see managing our website traffic well by SEO. And in the fifth one, learn where and when to share our ads and content marketing materials. Also, we have to here prove that our website is also always working properly, because it's a living mechanism. When we are at internet, then we can accept it as a living mechanism. Okay, so we can't leave it on one side and okay, there is my website, it's just automatic. No, there is no way. So we should always update it, we should always correct it, we should always using the analytics to measure the community atmosphere. Okay, so also in another suggestion to increase usability, we may diversify our use case. Our website should work in a large number of internet browsers, for example, Safari's, Google Chrome's, or etc. So here, we may mention about some inspirational social digital entrepreneurship stories, shortly, of course, because there are plenty of entrepreneurship stories for social digital context. So, for example, how about crisis text line? When we have a look at the company, or how can I say, it's a non-profit organization, so NGO or NPO, okay? So this is a non-profit organization, I mean the crisis text line, that provides free 24/7 crisis support via text message. It uses its mission, it uses data and technology to match texters in crisis with trained volunteer counselors who can provide support and resources. So think about it. In one side, there are some people, they call them the texters, and they are in crisis. And in the other side, there are some volunteer counselors who can provide support and resources to these texters. It was launched 10 years ago, you see, and Crisis Text Line has exchanged over 150 million messages with people in crisis. This is a huge number. So let me, before Khan Academy, let me share my screen as we talked about some points that, for example, about their websites, about their names. Let's open my Chrome. Here. Okay. Crisis text line. Let's have an evaluation about it, and let's have more information about the nonprofit organization. For example, you see this push-up here: in crisis and need to talk to someone, we are here for you. Okay, this is, I think, for, let's talk about, let's okay, see what's the target audience here. You see, text us, chat with us, WhatsApp, and how it works. It's very important for us. Let's hear, how does it work, this nonprofit organization? First, you are in a crisis. Crisis doesn't just mean thinking about ending your own life. It's any painful emotion and anytime you need support. So reach out to a volunteer crisis counselor. You see that some short keywords like home, start, hello, just help us identify how people hear about us. You see that the target audience, it's in the United States, I think, here. Okay, this is a social idea, and you see the audience is the people just in a crisis. Okay, and there are some keywords to text and to connect you to a volunteer counselor. This is just an example. So the first two responses are automated. They tell you that you are being connected with a crisis counselor and invite you to share a bit more. Okay, the crisis counselor is a trained volunteer, not a professional. Here you see that it tries to generate a link for you to trust the counselor, because if you think that he or she is not a professional and a trained volunteer, then the probability of your trust level is to increase, again, increases. So they can provide support, but not medical advice. It's the mission, of course. It's the mission of this nonprofit organization. And yes, there are some steps. So, for example, what are the services? Let's look at the services here: anxiety, coronavirus, depression, eating disorders. You see, for United Kingdom, and you see some others, not all over the world, but you see it may be expanded all over the world. So is there any opinion from the participants about this social digital idea? Do you have any comments on this nonprofit organization here? Okay, we should talk about another example. Second one is the Khan Academy. Also, this is a nonprofit educational organization that provides free online courses and resources in a variety of subjects. So what's the mission? What's the mission of this academy, Khan Academy? Here, the organization uses technology to provide a personalized learning experience for each student, and its courses have been accessed by millions of people around the world so far. So, as you see, this academy provides free online courses to reinforce the weaknesses of the students. It includes, by looking at the mission, it includes the students mostly who have not the possibility to reach out equality in education. Let's have a look at the internet website for the Khan Academy. Yes, here is the Khan Academy. You see that For every student, every classroom, real results. And there are some courses here: maths, science, test preparations, computing, art, humanities, even economics. Here, some artificial intelligence guides and other things. You see here, there is a wide range of courses for students: maths, biology, physics, etc. So this is also a non-profit organization and aiming some free online courses. Very nice. As you see, my friends, there are some other non-profit organizations, but I won't open the websites for the other organizations, but just mention about them. There are some other organizations here. For Code for America is another one here. This non-profit organization uses technology to help government work better for people. As you see that the organization works with local governments to develop digital tools and services. It's applicable for United States citizens. So another one is the Ocean Cleanup. This is also a non-profit organization that uses technology to remove plastic waste from the world's oceans. So in this type of service here, as you understand that there are some floating barriers. There's a system of floating barriers using ocean currents to capture concentrate plastic waste. It's also a huge, big problem because it destroys our oceans, the garbage. It's also the plastic waste. It's very dangerous for our future. And in another one here, Be My Eyes. This is a free mobile app that connects blind and visually impaired people with sighted volunteers around the world. It's also a creative idea here, as you see. And another one is the Too Good To Go. It's a Danish organization, as you see, that connects customers to restaurants and stores with unsold surplus food. And also, by this way, it enables customers to buy excess food at a lower price. It's somewhat trying to strengthen the purchasing power of some people. Also, the Fleef, a Slovenian startup here, you see that it develops the multimedia devices for the blind and visually impaired content. So in another one, Chatterbox, in the light of the refugee crisis all over Europe, an entrepreneur decided to turn his personal experience into a business idea here. What is he doing? He gives online and face-to-face language lessons in their native language. So far, there are some sort of languages, but it still needs some progress. But it's again a good idea. And in another example, Elvis and Kress, it turns old fire hoses into luxury accessories. It's also a somewhat recycling idea here. And the ReFood, it's the mission of the ReFood organization is to eliminate food waste. Here again, the food waste and hunger in another perspective you see. there are plenty of organizations trying to solve this problem. Also, Geopedia is an active group of citizens with different backgrounds and work experience about promoting and protecting the environment. As you see up to now, environment, disabled people, food waste, and education comes first in the social business, social digital ideas. There are plenty of examples here. For example, Symbiosia is also a social enterprise that trying to improve the quality of life and well-being of elder and youth. So it's also an important point here, trying to increase the quality of life. And Otsimo is a project that offers games through an online portal to give children with autism the necessary knowledge and skills at home. It's also, again, we can call it as an education project, but the target audience is the children with autism. All of these successful stories are based on some branches of, let's talk about it as a tree. The roots of the tree should be very strong. This strength comes from sustainability, financial planning, and launching the initiative. You may all heard about the concept of sustainability. It provides a long-term perspective, not only to environment, but also economics and social subjects. So sustainability in this 21st century is very important for our social digital business idea. Okay, so achieving sustainability will promote our initiative, will promote our enterprise among the community. It's not important just to launch the enterprise or launch the organization. It should be sustainable, okay? Otherwise, our efforts will be, for example, for a month, for a week, or for a year. But sustainability here is at the center of our transactions. How can a social digital entrepreneur create a sustainable development? First and most here, as social digital entrepreneurs, we should focus on technology, okay? So by using technology here, we all give some solutions to environments, of course. Also, it's not only the environment problem, it's also economics. It's also the elder, youth, also some disadvantaged groups. Okay, so sustainability and technology usage will intersect in our business idea. So when we are talking about our projects, we should all keep these things on our minds. Also, the financial plan should be very important because there are some sort of things that may affect our future steps and future actions. For example, revenue streams, costs, cash flow, capital requirements, financial reporting, of course, at the end. All of these steps should be selected carefully and should be given importance. Why is that? Because we need to keep our enterprise alive. Without a good financial management, I'm sorry that no other enterprises will survive. We should also, as I told you before, we are keeping in our mind that it should be sustainable. So we should generate a sustainable financial plan. Okay. We should contribute to the idea by making it just sustainable. So here, how can we launch our initiative here? What are the steps? There is a short vision here, as you see. Set a launch date. We should be precise on our launching date. For example, it's not like in the next 10 years. It's not like that. For example, we should be launching our initiative in June 2023. Okay, so we should all set a launch date and also develop a launch plan. It should be detailed as much as possible. So in order to achieve it, we should keep in our minds that all of the factors, for example, economic factors, for example, organizational factors, and legal factors, etc. And in the third box, you see the preparing your team. Team skills, teamwork skills, and group dynamics is very important. So I believe that I am not be successful when I act on myself. But if I am successful for creating a dynamic group or team, team is more here the correct concept for our idea. The proper team will provide some synergy. Okay, so team formatting is very important for us. Also, of course, preparing our marketing materials, promotions, our distribution channels, our communication channels are very important. And testing our system is another controlling phase here. And so testing the system might give us the feedback for the consequences of our initiative. After these 5 steps, we should launch our initiative. And we should all be careful about the past steps that are we recognized. And in the last box, you see doing all this, successing all these steps are not still enough. So monitoring our progress is very important again. As you see, we launched our initiative. We took into consideration all of the factors, but still we need to control and monitor our progress. Why is that? The answer is very simple here, because we need sustainability. Okay, we need a sustainable growth plan. Otherwise, it's not a one-time thing. Otherwise, it will be called just a small project. Okay, not an enterprise, not an initiative, not a social digital entrepreneurship. It's very different from other time intervaled projects. So, our friends, we have come up to the end of the day, but as you see, just our notes have come, and if you have any comments or questions, I will be more than happy to answer your questions for now. Do you have any questions about today's training, my friends? Is everything all right? Thank you, thank you. Thank you for your comments. So here I can give you an assignment for Friday. So tomorrow at the same time, we will be together. Tomorrow we will talk about the digital toolkits for management, education, marketing toolkits, so as to increase the effectiveness of our social digital initiative. But I want you to, from this day, Wednesday, to Friday, you have 2 days, 2 nights, I mean, you need to form a group of 5, if possible. If not, you may be on your own, no problem, but I would rather prefer you form a group of 5 people. Why is that? We will be in workshops for Friday, and I will try to give you some feedbacks on your business plan. Okay, so after forming 5 people for your group, please develop a business plan, and by making a SWOT analysis. Okay, just ask yourself, what are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? And what is this threat in our community, or etc., or in the marketing context? And also opportunities and threats. Okay, so try to make a business plan. I will also give some details tomorrow, no problem, don't worry. But after forming a group of 5 people, or maybe 3, no problem. After that, I will wait for your business plan on Friday. Okay. So what's the aim on this? I will try to give you feedback, and maybe after the training, your business plan will come to life. Okay. So maybe you can use the chat box to form a group, and both today and tomorrow. So you have plenty of time. But if you don't have the opportunity to form a group, don't worry, you are still welcome. Just we need to hear about something about your SWOT analysis and also your business model. Okay, I will be happy to give you feedback on Friday for our workshops. So you don't need to make a presentation on Friday. There's a question here, but if you are comfortable by giving a presentation, okay, we will be more than happy to have you with your presentation. But it's not necessary. But if you prepare a presentation, okay, we will be happy for our workshops. So your assignment for Friday for workshops, please form a group. If it's not possible, be your own. Develop a business plan, develop your SWOT analysis, and I will listen to you. And after that, I will give feedbacks on Friday. So for tomorrow, we will go on our training at the same time. Thank you for participation. I'm really glad to have you here. Thanks again. Thanks again, my friends. So see you tomorrow.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.